Welcome, girls. Either you girls are all from Iowa Lakes. Good to see you. Did you guys get snow today by chance?
Yeah,
Little bit,
Yeah,
yesterday,
yeah.
last
I
night.
did too. I think it's crap. Um,
Yeah.
so how are you enjoying the weather up by the lakes?
It's cold. It is
I don't
cold.
like it.
Did you go when you were recruited to Iowa Lakes? Were you here during the summertime or springtime, or when it was really nice and it's like, oh
Yeah.
wow, this is
During
an
the
awesome
summer.
place to be.
Oh,
They
I
Yeah.
came.
they
I came during the winter.
Yeah, I
did
did.
you nice. Um, So the whole idea of this is to highlight the JUCO experience and everything. So let's start. Ella, introduce yourself. Where you're from? How many years you've been wrestling?
I'm Ella. I'm from a small town called Nursery, Minnesota, and I've been wrestling for about 14 years.
So you're down south, so it's probably a lot warmer down here from
Yeah,
Minnesota.
yeah, yeah.
Minnesota's, a lot more snow. It's really
I
cold.
still don't like the winter though. I hate it.
Yeah, me too. How about you, Abby?
I'm Abby, and I'm from the suburbs of Chicago. I'm like in the Schaumburg area, and I've been wrestling for about 7 years now.
Go ahead.
I'm Mikalah. I'm from a small town in Minnesota called Windham, Minnesota, and I've been wrestling for about 4 years now.
Okay. And you're all so Iowa Lakes, obviously. Is that Esterville? Am I right?
Yep,
Or
yep.
is okay, Esterville. So two Minnesotas from kind of smaller town. Obviously it's not as big as Chicago. And thank God, because I absolutely hate Chicago. I hate driving in
Oh
Chicago.
my God.
And it's not Chicago. I'm a Cubs fan. Are you a Cubs or Sox fan?
Cubs for days.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
Corey would love you.
Yep.
I'm a Cubs guy, so it's not that I hate Chicago. I hate driving in Chicago. I'll put it that
That
way.
is, yeah, it is a
So
wreck.
what's Esterville like to come from different places and do you enjoy the town? Is it a good place to be?
I enjoy it. It's like smaller than the town that I went to school in, but it's got like everything you need. So, and the people are pretty decent here. So,
It's got a
Yeah,
Casey's, so it's got pizza, right? That's all we really
Yeah.
need.
yeah.
yeah. I think it's just like a lot different for me because I'm from more of a populated area, and Esterville's like a lot smaller for me. But I kind of like it because everyone knows each other, and it's just like quieter and like it's not noisy, and it's just like nice, different scene for me.
Nice.
Definitely. I'm bouncing off Abby because I'm also from a small town, but I'd say
Uh-huh.
Esterville's just a little bit bigger than Windham. Not very big, but it's really nice that all the athletes know each other really well because we're in such close vicinities. It's pretty great.
Nice. And so the 2 year option, right? A lot of people kind of look past that. What made you look at the 2 year schools? What at all?
For me, I'm not like the biggest fan of school. And so, in like, especially the field that I'm studying, like, it just made the most sense to go this route and whatever, like, one last little shot at wrestling through all my injuries and stuff. So, it was just the most
What
appealing to me.
what are you studying?
Electrical.
Electrical,
Electric.
nice. Did
Yeah.
electricians over the next few, I can't remember how many were short. It's a crap load.
Oh, yeah.
You will have a job for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
That's why I
choice.
went
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah. And so another opportunity, just you can do something like electrical because you're not going to get that at the University of Iowa is not going to teach you
Right.
to be an electrician,
Right.
but you also get that couple years of wrestling in. That's
Yeah.
awesome. How about you, Abby?
I originally was gonna go to a 4 year, but they changed the eligibility like my senior year, so we get 6 years of eligibility. And I
Hmm.
decided I want to wrestle as much as I can. And I love freestyle, so I decided 2 years would be nice because I can get all my gen eds done while it's still cheaper and still have my 4 years in NCAA.
Oh, very good. What's your major?
I major in biology, but I am transferring to pre-vet.
Pre-vet. Any idea? We'll talk about that later. And it's Michaela. Am I right there? Because I always
Yeah.
think just Mac. Because you're
I was gonna
TikTok
say,
famous, so it's just Mac. Is that okay?
if Max, that's easier, it's good. Good for me.
Perfect. You had a little different experience because you've been at the 4 year school.
I did, yes.
So tell
Um,
me the difference there.
Uh, it's just a lot more, I don't know. For me personally, it's a lot easier being at a 2 year versus being at 4 year because I'm first gen in college. So I thought I had to go to a 4 year, didn't even think about looking at 2 years. But halfway through my sophomore year, I'm like, nope, this isn't right for me. I need to switch. And ever since coming to Iowa Lakes, it's just been a smooth sailing ride. It's been great.
Yeah. One thing that you haven't touched on, especially you had been in a 4-year school, the dollar amount that it costs. How have they done financial aid wise at Iowa Lakes for y'all? Pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd say so.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot different than paying 40 grand a year for a 4-year education. Yeah. So no, that's great. Some of the things that brought you to Iowa Lakes? We'll
Um,
start with Ella. Yeah.
for me, obviously having the electrical program and a women's wrestling program, like it was pretty minimal on my search. And then this is the first college visit I came on, and when I got here, like all the instructors and like even all the students here, like half of them already knew my name before I walked in the door, and it just felt like home when I was here. And even like leaving with my parents that day, I was like, I don't think it could get any better than this. So just
Nice.
all the good. So
Good. How about you, Abby?
I'd say I had previous connections before I even looked into Iowa Lakes. My coaches knew Corey, both Corys.
Hmm.
They got me connected, and I realized I had a friend who already wrestled here, and she was just hyping it up for me too. And then when I came here for my tour, it was like negative 15 degrees. It was
Oh,
so
geez.
cold, but the dorms were so nice for like the price it was at. Like I get like an apartment for less than I'd be paying at like a 4-year college. So it's just like really nice and homey for me.
Nice. Yeah, because Corey, he's from Illinois, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah. He's from around my area as well. So like they all know
Gotcha.
each other.
Yeah. How about you, Mac?
Um, well, I mean, I technically did my research on Iowa Lakes first because I was looking at other colleges to transfer to. And I reached out to Corey and I'm like, hey, I saw that you guys had a women's wrestling team. I would love to tour. Not sure about a major yet because I was in athletic training at Augsburg. That's where I was previously.
Hmm.
And then when I got here, I toured majors, toured the dorms. Corey's like, well, go for it. And it's been home ever since.
Very good. That's the second time I've heard the word home. That's something I tell any of my athletes when they're going to look at a college. You'll know because it'll feel like home, right? And obviously Iowa Lakes has been that place for you. Let's talk about the coaches a little bit. I know Corey is. I've known him for a few years now. He's a little crazy. He's nuts. So I'm assuming practice is fun. Not saying it's easy, but I'm assuming practice is fun. But how have they done in developing you as athletes in that transition from folk style to freestyle?
I think like the mix of they're both like very different, but both like very similar in how they want to like take care of us and how they want to treat us. And like Corey's a great coach and stuff. And then on top of that, I think Dalton is like a really key piece in our program because he's had the college experience and he's fresh out of it. And so he kind of shares his experiences with us and like wants to help us grow and learn at a faster pace than he did because we do only have 2 years here instead of like 4 years. So I think that's been like really helpful for us. And then like obviously their knowledge in the freestyle world is incredible, and to like walk into here and not know everything and then have them in our corner is great.
How has the transition been for you from folk style to freestyle?
For me, it was okay because I wrestled so much like over the summer and stuff, and my last like year of folk styles itching to get back into freestyle. Like I just like it so much better than folk style. I hate doing stand ups or being a bottom. No.
That's not that's kind of a common thread.
Yeah.
Top's the way to be anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't pick down very often because
No.
that's not a
No.
good spot to be in. All right, Abby, how about you? What do you think about the coaching staff? And do
Um,
I can cut the bad stuff off. So go ahead. No, I'm kidding. I know there probably isn't much bad. So good
yeah,
coaches.
I mean, Corey, when I first met Corey, he was just so talkative. I actually when I was on my visit, I was talking with both the Corys, the men's coach and, Corey. And they just both were like so talkative. I got like about one word in with them. And I just really liked how they were just so energetic, like, for being their age. But like, yeah, I really liked how they approached me with college and stuff, and they were just really open with me about how Iowa Lakes is as a program. And when I got here and I first met Dalton, we kind of realized, me and Dalton realized we have similar mindset. So it's really easy for him to work around me and like how I am as a wrestler. And he doesn't like judge me for anything. Like when I make a decision, he knows that's how I am as a wrestler because he thinks the same way. So I think in that way, me and Dalton are pretty connected as a wrestler and coach.
Yeah. So other than Corey has about 1 or 2 years before he's in the nursing home, according to his age. But very
Yeah.
talkative. Yeah, he is fun. That's part of being old is you start to talk and tell stories all the time. So
Oh yeah.
Yep.
we won't hold it against him. How about you, Mac? What do you think? Well, were you on the team at Osberg?
Yes, I was for two
So
years.
we have different coaching styles, I'm sure. What do you
Yes.
appreciate about these guys?
I appreciate how open they are. It's very blunt to the point. Like there's nothing, no hiding, no funny business with them. And if there's something I need to work on, I go to them and they will break it down step by step for me. Or if they need to push me, they will push me to my limit and it's what I need. And I really appreciate that.
Is that different from what you experienced elsewhere? And I don't want to say anything bad about another school. I'm just
Right.
different coaching for you.
Definitely different coaching for me because from freshman to sophomore year, I had a transition in coaches because freshman
Oh,
year, head coach left,
mm-hmm.
and I had a new coach to try and build a relationship with, and it was very rocky for sure.
Gotcha. That's something, and I've talked about this a few different times. And you said again, another word that you said, relationships. Um, a lot of us old guys, we came from coaching boys and transitioned to coaching girls. I made that choice. There was a girl that came into my club room. I absolutely fell in love with coaching her. It was so much fun, just completely new, and I saw the explosion. That was 11 years ago. So I think at the time there was 21 girls wrestling in the high school when she started. So it's nuts that we're like 3,500 now. But when I started coaching boys, I got to prove to them that I'm a really good wrestler, so they respect me. Now that I've coached girls for a while, I have to make sure that they trust me in order for them for us to be on the same page. What do you think about that? Does that make sense to you? Do you feel like trust is a more important thing than respect, I think, with your coaches? I mean, I'm
I
not saying that you don't respect them, but did they have to earn your trust or your respect?
Both, definitely both.
Both.
Yeah. I
Okay.
feel like that's like you definitely could tell the difference between coaches who coach men and like just coach women, like especially coming here. Like I worked or like my high school had like it was me and one other like really good girl and that was it. And so we kind of just got pushed aside. And luckily we were at our own like high enough level that we could fend for ourselves. But like
Hmm.
yeah, it was just like you said, you gotta earn the respect. And so it was like you worked your tail off every day to like I don't even prove you or something. Whereas like here it's like you said, a lot of trust and stuff. And it's just like completely different working with just women's coaches.
Nice. I like that. Good answer. Anybody else got something on that or?
Yeah, I'd say for me, it was definitely different going from my high school coaches to like college coaches, especially because they are being paid to like, be there for us specifically, and they don't have to share your attention with the guys. Um, but I say it wasn't really about like earning their respect or, stuff like that. For me, it was just building that trust between them that, hey, you can trust me to listen to you. And like learn these moves, I think the respect part just follows along, but really earning their trust, as like a female wrestler, that we can be on par with men.
Nice. Got anything, Mac? You good?
I think I'm good.
Think you're good. 2 years. Not upperclassmen really. You have 2 years of eligibility. Is that correct? So, like I said, I've been in rooms for a long time. I've been around some new college programs, and a lot of times it's that, well, we got a couple years in, started turning around because then we had senior leadership and upperclassmen leadership. Do you feel like you have developed quicker leadership skills because you're at a 2 year school and you have to become the leaders on the team. You don't get that opportunity of waiting around 2 years and developing that. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it definitely like happened real quick here. Like I noticed it right away in our preseason workouts. Like within the first 2 weeks, you kind of know who stands out and like wants to lead the team and stuff. And then like through that, we've worked in like small groups on mindset things and just like stuff that us girls have worked with the girls on, so that the coaches don't have to necessarily lead it. And through that, I think we can also like have girls be able to notice their strengths and weaknesses and where they can be leaders, and if they're more quiet, like where they can still, pave their way through. So I think
Yeah.
even for like just 2 years, it's been like there's more leadership here than I ever noticed in my high school room that I was in for 5, 6 years. So
Good. Got anything
And
for us?
I agree with Ella, 2 years, it's really short. It goes by so fast. And I think sometimes the coaches are, they put us in that position to, get us to be more leaders. But we're at a different pace than the 4 years are. Like, we have to grow faster because we have such a short time. But I think it really helps develop your character as a person and as a leader because we're at a different pace, We just we're developing a lot faster, and it helps us with wrestling because wrestling doesn't slow down for anyone, right? So,
No. Yeah. And that's something I was talking to the last group, the last I was talking to some girls from Nyack, and they were saying, I thought this would be a easier transition, that we'd wrestle the JUCO level and stuff. You don't get that opportunity. Everything's an open anymore. So you're, first meet University of Iowa, Grandview. You have the William Penn. You have some really high ranked teams there, and you're thrown in the mix. You don't get a lot of opportunity to do that. So you're right. You're at a much quicker pace. What do you think, Mac? You've had that at the 4 year school to the 2 year school. What do you think about that? Do you think you guys are? Do you think they have to develop quicker?
I think they do, but I think the girls have done a really good job of handling it compared to the 4 year, because it's a very slow thing for the 4 year girls, I've noticed. Whereas when I came here, it was straight to business, like boom, 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 boom. And I personally really enjoy it. It's made me a much better person, and I've come out of my shell to be a leader for these freshman girls, and it's been great.
Nice. You want to tell me each a little bit about maybe your wrestling journey? If there's been some coaches that have helped you along the way, a club coach, just your experience so far.
I'd say I had a pretty like heated eighth grade to like sophomore year with how many like Fargo and all the tournaments I competed in stuff. And I think the biggest like change, like life changing coach for me was Brett Farr, who was a U of M alumni, and he just kind of like I'd go into rooms with all men, and he picked me apart, and like he saw the value in me and whatever, invited me to like the U of M. We had some practices and stuff, and he kind of just took a chance on me, and then that's when I like won my couple of Fargo titles and stuff, and I feel like I owe like everything back to him, because then once I had all that success, I kind of lost him in the mix of stuff. But I'd say
Mhm.
that was the biggest life changer for me.
I'd
Go
say
for it.
I originally wasn't really into wrestling, but I started mainly because of my sister. Because we were in high school at the same time, and I started when she was in high school and she started wrestling, I was in middle school, and I thought it was really cool watching her go out there and beat guys' asses. So I started getting into it. Um, and I really have to give a lot of thanks to my coach, my high school coach, because I didn't get into freestyle until sophomore year. But, once I got into that and I was at that national level at Fargo and stuff, he he really like put out effort to help fund my trips. He helped me get to, the Northern Plain regionals and go to AAU nationals. He would always be there to help me and fund those trips or be able to like attend them in general. So I have to give him a lot of thanks for even getting me started into freestyle and, acknowledging that I want to do this and giving me opportunities to be able to wrestle at that different level.
Nice. How about you, Mac? What's your wrestling journey been like?
Well, I started at university. I originally went for cross country, and I had a friend who convinced me to join the wrestling team because I wanted to do it when I was a seventh grader, but all the boys kicked me out of the room because they're like, we don't want to wrestle with a girl. And I'm like, okay. But then I got an opportunity to do it in college and went out there and got injured as expected, but I haven't given up because it's something I wanted to do. So I kept doing it and now I'm on my fourth year of wrestling and it's been great. I have to shout out my freshman year coach, Jake Short. He is a phenomenal coach and I probably wouldn't have stuck it out if it wasn't for Jake.
Wow. So you had a really late start wrestling,
I
a
did,
very
yeah.
late start. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's awesome that you're able to do it at this level. One thing I have talked about in the past is that you guys don't even, you, at this point, you probably don't realize how elite you are. Out of everybody in the country, 2.5% of female wrestlers move on to college. So that's a tiny percentage, you know. So that puts you at a really high level. To stick it out past 2 years, another 50% of all female wrestlers quit within the first 2 years. Whether that's from injury, I'm done with college because I was at a 2 year. Something happens that so it's like 1.5. We'll say 2% total of all the girls in that wrestled in high school become women freestyle wrestlers past 2 years, which it's amazing. So just think about how elite you guys are. Now, in that junior college, I think honestly, another Illinois person, Val Hamilton, Fargo champion. Did you win Fargo? Is that what did I hear you say you won Fargo?
Me?
Ella, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, you got some Fargo champions. You got Val Hamilton, world silver medalist, all JUCO level. What do you think the level of wrestling is for junior colleges in comparison to the 4 year schools right now?
I think it's a lot higher. Honestly, like the first tournament we went to that I didn't wrestle, but I helped like coach and be a manager and like some of the faces that I haven't seen since I was in like whatever freshman year, I was like, holy smokes, like these are some top end girls. And then I'd be like, where are you going? And then they'd be like, whatever 2 year school they were going to. And it's just
Uh-huh.
like, wow. And then I started picking through the brackets and I'm just like, these are some big names with like big accolades that are at these 2 years. And I never got a chance to like ask them why they went that route, but part of me like thinks that kind of on the same route of Abby of the eligibility, like if you can get into a 2 year and they're willing to give you some money for school and stuff, why not take the chance to see if it's for you and then have the extra 4 years on top of that. But I think
Yeah.
it's crazy high level.
Yeah. I was kind of blown away. That's another reason I had talked to Corey right away after the tournament and said, I really want to do something and talk about Iowa Lakes because you guys did fantastic. All the 2 year schools did fantastic. And I really thought it was a good thing to highlight and so really impressed with the level. Now let's just say I have one of my high school athletes is coming up to Iowa Lakes. What are you going to tell her? Why should she come to Iowa Lakes?
It feels like home.
Okay.
I recently told this to one of the recruits because she's actually from Illinois and she knows me and I know her. So I told her, I said, Iowa Lakes, we're not known to be like Iowa Central or Indian Hills. We're not up there, but we're still pretty good. And I told her, you can be a number at Iowa Central or at Indian Hills, or you can come to Iowa Lakes and be, make a name for yourself. Everyone here is gonna know you're great at wrestling. No one expects Iowa Lakes to go out there and dog on these girls, but the second you do, you're making a name for yourself, because you just stand out. And I said, you're a great enough wrestler to do that. And Iowa Lake's gonna recognize that, but some other schools might not see you as like a great wrestler. They just see you as like a number.
Nice. Like that. How about you, Mac?
Um, I'd definitely say check out 2 years first before you think about universities. Because 2 year should have been the route that I went instead of going straight to university. You could get your gen eds out of the way if you want to continue your college, or you can get a great degree for 2 years. You can still do sports. It doesn't have to be far from home. It's cheaper. It's just personally a lot better situation to come into. And with being an athlete too, you're not just a number. Your coaches get to know your name. They get to know your background. Like you become family with coaches, teammates, other athletes on campus. We are just one big family.
Nice. Something that came up when, and I think Abby said it, you can come here and be somebody. I went to a really small college, and actually the college I went to closed, but the idea of building a program over, just coming into an existing program is another thing. I really like the idea of, going there and being able to make a difference because you made that difference, right? So that's cool. I'm glad you brought that up. Um, After this is all said and done and you're out of school, have you given any thought to coaching or officiating?
I have. I'm definitely gonna give back in coaching. I I mean I have since like obviously with the little kids and at back in my hometown, and I just find like a niche for giving back. And then not only like that, but obviously at the level that women's wrestling is coming to, like the amount of girls that are coming out, and I don't know, it's just exciting. So
I agree. My coaches were always heavy with pay it forward. That's why they did so much for us, is because they told us, pay it forward when you're older. And I also want to stay in wrestling. I love it, but my body's not gonna hold up forever. So like, I just want to see the world grow in the wrestling world. And I have been looking to officiate, and coach. I used to coach my high school girls all the time. So I just found out I just really like it, Even if I'm not wrestling, I love to see these girls wrestle and help them grow. So
Nice. How about you, Mac? Are you gonna coach?
I really would like to coach. Me and Corey have kind of had a conversation about me coming back in the fall and helping out coaching the Iowa Lakes girls, just as like, I don't know, a volunteer coach or an assistant coach, something like that. Just because I'm not ready to let
You're
go
not
of
ready to
my
leave.
freshman. Not ready.
Gotcha. So I'll because this will be out for a while, and I can use it for advertising too. But just so all of you know, if you decide to get your coaching endorsement and you coach in Iowa, let's say you stay and coach in Iowa, the high school endorsement, the IWCOA, the Coaches Association will with that certificate in your hand will give you $250 scholarship back on that. It's like what, a $400 or $500 class, and then I'm with Iowa AAU. We will also match that. So basically, you can get your class reimbursed completely. So just a thought there. And then if you're going to officiate, uh, if you don't know any officials right now, get a hold of me. I'll make sure we get you hooked up with a mentor and get you, because the IWCA again will pay for your memberships and things like that. So something you guys could be doing, making some money on the side on some tournaments when you guys aren't going somewhere. Um, let's get to know you just a little bit better outside of wrestling. Uh, Guilty pleasure foods. Man, I love ice cream. I could eat it every day of the week. I think one of my favorite flavors is from Casey's. They have a sugar cookie dough it's got it's sugar cookie ice cream, and it's got the dough plus frosting in it. It's fantastic. Um, what do you guys? What's your guilty pleasure foods?
mine is probably Casey's Pizza or Nerds Gummy Clusters.
Ooh, God, what's your favorite pizza at Casey's?
Their breakfast pizza is pretty bomb.
Gotcha. Have you had the jalapeno popper pizza?
No,
You need
I
to
haven't
try
been
it
able to have it in a while. So
because we're
once
in season now.
yeah, once I shave off some weight, I might treat myself.
How about you, Abby?
Um, I'd say my guilty pleasure is probably either ramen or just candy in general. I have such a bad sweet tooth. It's not funny. Every tournament, ask these girls. I got Skittles in my hand.
Mhm.
Never see me walk without that.
We'll call it quick energy. How about that? You're just
That,
trying to
yep.
get
Yeah.
that. You're just trying to get that quick energy before your matches.
Oh,
What do you think?
I don't.
What's that guilty pleasure?
Oh, I don't know. I've got a couple of them.
Mm,
One of them for sure
yeah.
is Red Bull for sure. Um, Probably Casey's too. I just love Casey's food.
Isn't it crazy that our best place to eat in Iowa is a freaking gas station?
Right?
Just it's nuts. Another unknown fact, or a small, lesser known fact, that Iowa actually eats per capita the most pizza in the country. So pretty
Really.
amazing. I know. Yeah. You know, you get Chicago style. You probably had a few
Yeah.
Chicago style pizzas in your life in
You
New York,
bitch.
but no. But I'm telling you, Iowa eats more pizza than anybody. So that's pretty impressive. What's been the biggest weight cut for you?
Biggest weight cut?
Biggest weight cut, hardest weight cut.
Mine was my going into my junior year at Fargo. I had to cut just over 20 pounds, I think. I'm really bad at cutting weight though. I'm like the worst out there.
You wait for the very end and do it wrong.
Oh yeah, and then like I like sweatsuit it and all, and then I go and try to run, and then I lay down, and then I get back up and run. Yeah, and then actually, I think it was the year before I like stopped that because I think the year before that kid passed away, getting ready for Fargo in that sauna suit, and I was just like
Yeah.
traumatized after that. So then I had to find a way to get 20 pounds off without doing that. So it was
Without,
rough. Yeah, I was like
I've
two
worn
weeks out. And I was
plastics.
like,
Yeah,
oh
I've worn plastics many times in my life, and I would never recommend it. It's horrible.
yeah,
It's not good. Of course, in high school, it's not supposed to be a legal thing, but
no,
they still sell them. So,
yeah.
uh, how about your weight cutting there, Abby? You cut a lot, or you more maintain?
I'd say now I'm better at it, but junior year I fear was the worst for me because my coaches had me cut down to 125 and I just average 140 every day. So it was just like, before state, I remember that was the worst cut. Me and this one girl were cutting like 10 pounds the day before weigh-ins and it was just awful. But
No
never
fun.
again.
Never
Never again.
again. Oh,
Mm.
you Mac, you kind of have a late introduction to the sport of wrestling. How's weight cutting? How's weight cutting been?
I mean, I would say I definitely maintain my weight a lot better here than I did at university.
Okay.
Freshman year, freshman 15 hit me really hard. And sophomore year was probably the hardest year for me to cut. I was cutting 10 plus pounds each tournament, and I was in the room all the time trying to cut weight, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on. Versus being here, I'm maintaining weight really well. So,
Yeah. Is that the philosophy at Iowa Lake's more of a weight maintenance than it is to weight cut?
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, but it's also harder to gain any weight here because like I have to like go drive really far if I want any food, and it's just like
Yeah.
because
You
it
can't walk
helps.
next door and get food.
Yeah.
It's a lot of energy to get out of your bed and go out of the warm room, get in your cold car,
Yep.
and go
Yes.
somewhere. And yeah.
Well, speaking of the horrible cold weather in Iowa, what would a dream vacation be?
Mine's probably like Montana or Wyoming.
So
I
you
love
want to stay where it's cold and go hit the
Well,
mountains.
okay, but like summertime, I think it's really
Okay.
pretty out there.
You'd like to go hiking in the mountains.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um, I say I just really want to go to Canada. Like I just really want to go to Canada. I don't know.
There's so much snow up there.
I know, but like something about Canada, guys. Like, come on, it's just beautiful. Like I
It's the
want to go
maple,
to.
it's probably the maple syrup, so that's
Oh
it.
yes, my sweet tooth.
All right, Mac, you gotta salvage this one. They're both going where there's still snow and it's cold.
I'm going complete opposite. I want to go to Louisiana.
Oh, nice. Like
Yeah.
New Orleans, are you Mardi Gras that up?
Oh yeah.
Nice. Now there you go. Just someone with some
Dude.
decent decent vacation ideas. Um, Not the organization, but what do you think it means to wrestle like a girl?
For me, since I've been in it so long and like especially growing up, I was the only girl and everywhere I went, I was the only girl. So I'd say when I first started, it meant proving who I was altogether as a person. But now at the collegiate level, like just going out there and giving everything you've got. You go out there with an empty slate every time. Nobody cares who you are. Nobody cares what you've done. Just like a match is a match. And I guess that's how it's developed a lot from when I first started to now.
That's a great answer
I'd say
right
for me,
there.
for like until sophomore year, wrestling like a girl just meant beating up guys, and just showing that you are better than them and that we are like on their level. But now I kind of see it differently. I just see it as, you know, you are growing and you are a stepping stone for the future. So it's like going out there and just giving everything you have on the mat because the younger girls are watching and you know, we are the stepping stones for them. So it's just growing this sport as much as we can.
Good.
Well, kind of bouncing off of Abby with the younger girls, I would say like to wrestle like a girl is not to start, you don't have to start at such a young age. You can start at any time. Me, for example, I started at collegiate level, and I just want to show to these girls that you can do it no matter what level you're at. Get in the room and just start practicing on anything.
Nice. I appreciate that. Now, very last question. We're going to go off of one of Mac's TikToks. How do you wear your hair for wrestling?
Braids, double braids.
Double-
But I
Double
can't braid
braid.
myself, so I gotta find somebody that can braid.
I got you.
Me, I'm
See,
here.
okay. I can't do it.
Well,
I couldn't.
I love braiding my hair in two Dutches, and then I don't know if you've already seen it, but I love my mini braids. I always like to do two Dutch braids, and then
Uh-huh.
just like a billion micro braids on the back, like a ponytail style, and I just love it.
And which one did you end up figuring out as your favorite one? Because you had multiple styles in there.
Oh yeah. For the last two tournaments, I've been doing I did four braids, and that's been my go-to just because I can get them really tight and my hair doesn't come so loose and in my face.
Nice. So I haven't used the braided thing for quite a while, so I don't have to do that. But no, it was really fun talking to you guys. Good to get to know you. Um, thank you very much. I will tell you if you got anything that you guys, if you're at a tournament and you take some pictures you want to put on, send them to me. I'll make sure Iowa Lakes gets represented well in the state of Iowa. So thank you much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having us.